Laura,
Hey,
hey, hold on. Wait, it says Terry. Hold
that's
on.
my
Ah,
sister.
oh, okay. We're gonna have two. Hang on. Let
Yeah.
me
Okay.
see.
Sorry, I
Okay.
emailed about it.
Gotcha. It's okay. It's okay. I said it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. So with that being said, let me go ahead and let me tell you. I don't know if she's in. I don't know how that's gonna work in here. Hang on. Let's see. Let's see. Give it just a
There
second.
she
I
is.
don't. Okay, there we go. Now we got it. Okay, cool, 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 cool. Welcome in. So I want to kind of go over, we have 30 minutes. I want to rock and I want to tell you all a little bit about not only like what I do, but how I do it. Also, if you see me in kind of like a serious face right now, I'm not mad. I'm not upset. I just have the most interesting feeling coming over me with a person that's here and we got to talk about it. And it's a little bit heavy. It's a little bit intense. And the first thing, obviously, sorry, all this is recorded, very serious. Not me, this person right now. I don't think they are naturally in life. I think they're a little bit more lighthearted, or they can be, but obviously what was happening to them is very heavy. So we got to figure out that there's almost like a pressure in the space that I'm in right now. So we'll kind of like look into that. So one of the things is they keep saying, and it's probably because I was channeling this my last session, they keep shaking their head like that, so that it's and it doesn't make sense yet. We'll have to figure out why they're happy about it, but you also have to remember that this is a soul, right? It's a spirit, it's consciousness. And so they're trying to talk about what was going on with them. So how do they actually talk? The first thing you'll notice is obviously it's just going to be me. I'm going to have a pen. I'm probably going to chew on it at some point, don't know why. The other thing is I'm going to have a notepad. I don't write anything down. I just monotonously scribble over and over and over again. I get anxiety when I channel, and it just kind of allows me to like focus. The next thing though too is whenever we do channel, is that what you have to remember is that they are coming in because of you, because they love you, because you have the connection with them. I'm just the tool in the shed. I'm just the shovel. Nobody cares about that. It's the work that can be done there. Whenever they do talk, what ends up happening is that I have to figure out not only what level they're on. So the best way I can describe the afterlife is that, you know, we're all energy, we're all spirit, but it's almost like being in a really big apartment. Not everybody is on the same floor. Okay, so that'd be like high, middle, low. And so you can figure out what area they're in, and they have different feelings, almost like different notes. So the area I'm in feels a little bit heavier. So that automatically leads me to be like, okay, we have to go down this way. The other thing too is whenever we do channel, how do they talk? They talk in 4 different ways. The first way is they talk with a whole bunch of signs and symbols. I may get a symbol that says like a Hershey's chocolate bar, which means I was from Pennsylvania, or a pineapple, which means Florida, like stuff like that. They'll put it in a line. The next thing is that they'll do feelings and emotions. Those are a big thing. When I'm talking to you, I'm saying words to you, you're applying feelings or emotion to it, and then that's the meaning, right? Well, they do feelings and emotions, and I have to apply words to it. The last 2 ways are that they'll try to put me in situations that either happen to them, happen to you, or will happen to you. So it's almost like seeing like a snapshot of a daydream. And the last one is words and phrases. Those are my favorite because they're very clear cut. It just depends on how they want to talk. So just be with me. I'm going to be staring at absolutely nothing over here. And lastly, normally I'm at home in my studio, but I'm in Southern California in my mother-in-law's house. So we get this corner of the house, okay, to be quiet. So that's why it looks different. So let's figure this out. This person, so they're showing me images, which is very interesting. Apparently we've all been waiting for this, which is good. But they're just like, oh, well, you know, I'm glad that I'm here. They talk a lot like this. So they're talking with their hands a lot. What this person likes to be with other people, but he also likes his space at the same time. So he's talking about almost like being kind of like solid or having the solitude in a way. Now I'm going to ask him things like, what happened to you? What's going on? Um, he's walking around in my head back and forth, and he has like a hand here, and then he has this other hand here, and he's pacing, which means I have concern, or this also means like I'm like, it's like that, you know, heavier feeling that goes on with, that's the best way I can describe it. And it's, think about a man walking back and forth in what would be like slacks or jeans, right? You can feel that concern. One, Who are these people? Do you know? They gotta know I'm fine. They gotta know I'm fine. Definitely, I think obviously this is your sister. So I think this is y'all are his this. Okay, so all together, everybody's related and good. Says that one. He can't go back. Obviously, there's some sort of regret that goes along with him and his passing. I think this is relatively quick, or pretty fast. One, which means he didn't die of cancer. One. He keeps explaining like the quickness of his passing left a really big mess in the wake, like that kind of thing. And he sees it, and he's really met with more of like, I think this goes on the line of like, what did he do? That's kind of almost because he almost like in a way, it's like kind of like stuff about placing blame or having a lot of like strife with this or what was going on with him. This guy almost feels like a creative genius, which is very interesting. I've read people that are like professors and stuff like that. Like his mind goes like a million miles an hour. He's a really good guy. He's very, very bright. He's very brilliant. He feels like he would have a lot of Virgo in him, which is very interesting. But he can have a hot temper if he wants to as well, because he gets very red when he gets frustrated, and you can see that coming up on him. So I just want to, he's like showing me all these pictures. So I'm trying to ask him one. How did you die? Can you tell me? He like shakes his hand. Hold on. What? He doesn't like to be cornered. Like this man is, it's very hard if you talk to him, especially if you're family, especially if you're trying to get information out of him, because it's all in his game. It's his road. Like he's going to tell me when he wants to tell me. And this is not a show for y'all or me. And I'm like, okay, dude. But it's interesting because sorry, this is a spirit. Now, the other thing too, is this how he was in life?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, so it's now the other thing for me being a medium and doing this for so long and seeing this means he's in what we like to call the middle vibration, or we're not all the way up where we like to call heaven, but we're not all the way down in a place that's bad. So it's almost like we're dealing with all of these feelings, because what I've experienced is that when people have all this feeling or like animosity or like anxiety, like they haven't really calmed down and become one with themselves. They haven't figured out like it's cool to just relax. Like, what happened? This also usually goes along with passing as well. I feel like this man could burst a blood vessel in his eye very quickly and like have, I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know if it was like his stress that killed him or if he did this, but it like goes on the line of like both. That's all I'm going to say over here. He just feels like he had a family too, so it's not just y'all. So he had a family too. Interesting. He just showed me an image of like having dice in his hand and letting them fall where they may be, and that for me is like, you know, this happening and letting things fall. He says that, what are they? Honey. This man worked really hard. Is he like executive or something? He always has like pen and paper and he feels very creative, and he just feels like there's a, what'd you do? He always wants to get away. He always wants to get away. He says, I want to get away. I want to go out. He wants to find solitude. He wants to find peace. He's still finding that. He says that, tell me. You're always worried. Laura, you are always worried all the time. And then Terry, did you kind of like just give up on him?
Vice versa.
Vice versa.
Oh, vice versa. Okay, cool. Yeah, he goes like this. He says, so-and-so was worried all the time, and the other one gave up on me. And so I'm like, I don't know what this is. So somebody's like, yeah, and the other one's whatever. So just FYI, there's two of those. He's acknowledging that. He says he doesn't believe in the stuff that I do, which is interesting, but that's why he's also here talking to me now, which is very cool. He says like he doesn't get this shit. I don't even think he really believes in God, which is fine, which now he does at the same time. So it's a whole thing there. He says that So he had sons. Okay, hold on. Wait, but what? Or son? Wait. Wait. He has a lot of, he's a good man underneath, but he has a lot of fakeness to him at the same time. Like, it's almost like we could throw money away at stuff, or we could just say, you know, it'd be like, I don't know if he had 2 or 3 kids, because, or if it's like I got married to somebody else and they had kids. I don't know. I'm just going to say there's either 2 or 3. And it's like, it's like, oh, if I have everybody together, hi, we're having a great time. But really, it's like bullshit. He says he feels very frantic and anxious. I think he would have a drinking problem at some level too, but we're just going to say that too. Just because it's like, we could calm this. He just referenced my brother-in-law who had a very bad drinking problem with Seagram and 7, and he was a big shot. He said, what? He died. What happened to you? He doesn't like, so we had a funeral service, it seems to be. And he doesn't like all like the quote unquote fakeness or something like that going along there. Oh yeah. Like people would talk, people would say stuff or something like that, and like pictures and blah, blah, blah. This spirit is learning. He's learning. He's understanding. He's not a bad guy though. He's not a bad person. You just feel all the that goes along with him. Your mother is still alive? Yeah. He said, he goes, your poor mother. That's all he said. So he's like, he feels very bad about her. Maybe she's like also sad. It's very hard for that. He says that, I wonder, he was like a creative genius. Did he do something with TV or something? What did he do?
Yeah. He was a producer. Really talented.
Oh, holy crap. Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I've read people that do Broadway and, you know, obviously the whole thing, or that have done like television shows, and he feels like that, but he feels like he would be the executive of it, right? Because he has such intensity about him. It's almost like he just got wrapped up. He got wrapped up in all this stuff. He didn't have heart issues, but he feels like he was like everywhere. Did he end up like taking his own life?
No, technically no. He
drank himself to death.
Death. He fell down.
Well, he
fell down drunk
and was found at home alone.
He was found at home dead. Yeah. So whenever he's talking about the reason why he died is because of himself. But when he was talking about it, and that's the whole drinking problem, remember he was bringing that up, and he didn't necessarily blow his head off, but if he wanted to drink, if he wanted to have that addiction, if he wanted to have coped that way, he wouldn't have died. Okay. And he's so in control of everything in his life, or tries to be all the time, that he wasn't in control of this. And he just wants to relax. And so now he's trying to like pick up the pieces. It was very hard for him. It was very embarrassing how he passed away, because this is for him, especially because this is not how he wants to be viewed. It's interesting because he keeps showing me an image of like him being in a house and looking out over water. There's a couple of things for that. That either means we really enjoyed being on the water. I'm just going to say that. And we can't get to it because we're like in our own area. Or that also means that I'm in a house, that I'm stuck in a house. So there's a couple of things to go with that. He says that that house that he was in, it's not there anymore, or people aren't living in it, like the family's not there anymore. Yeah, cool. Oof. What? He's working through stuff right now. He's gonna get better. He's not gonna be here for forever, like in this area. It's just he's very frustrated. He couldn't talk to anybody about it. Tell me, bud. Is he like obsessed with the water though? Like he is just constantly wanting to go out on it. Okay.
He loves sailing.
He always says sail. Oh, no wonder we don't do sailing down in Texas. That's why I was like, he just shows me the ocean. Yeah, I'm down in Galveston. Ain't no way we got sailing. We'd be dead out there. Okay, that's why. Okay. Was it like Florida sailing or like up the coast sailing, like Northeast sailing?
Northeast.
Like,
up. Okay, that's see. Okay, I don't have an image for that. Interesting. He says, "Tell me, buddy." he just showed me sitting down and cutting a steak. Very interesting. But he does like, I guess he likes clams so too. He likes fine dining. He misses doing things. How he has a daughter. He does. He says he that's like the biggest person he's apologizing to. Okay. He loves her. I don't know if she's like the baby or the oldest, just because there's some sort of importance for her. It's going to be one of those faces, but she feels more kind-hearted. So for me, that would be almost like the baby, like I'm the baby. He says that he goes up and he just gives her a hug. And he says like he's sorry. That is one of his most important people that he loves. She must be really, really, really obviously torn up about it. I know I lost my daddy. I can only imagine this way too, you know? He says, I think his biggest thing is that he's just embarrassed at what happened. He's upset about him dying. He is, and there was no way to bring him back after they found him. There was nothing. So he was deader than a doornail. That's what he says. He says he's standing there, he's kicking his body, and he says, get up, like you big lug. Like he's like yelling at it, and there's nothing. And I was like, oh my God. He says that the TV was on and everything. So it was like during the day when this happened?
They found him in the morning, yeah.
Morning, yeah. Okay. He's talking about how eerie it is when people walk in and things are quiet, like the TV is on and stuff, and it's daylight when people are finding him. I'm like, okay. He's saying that, what? Well, where? Tell me. Oh, there's so many things right there. Who is the person? I don't know if this is one of y'all. Terry, are you working? Does somebody work with farm animals or like go? Yeah, that's so weird. Do you know?
No, our cousin Jill has a dog daycare.
A dog daycare. Okay. There's something about working with animals and being a handler or handling a lot of animals. And I'm like, but if we're in the East Coast or if we're here, like, I don't see anybody having a farm like that. So, okay, so that's that. Hold on, let's see. Who is like 20? So he all of his kids are a little bit older. Okay. Who's like 23?
His oldest.
Poor Bud. Okay. He's talking about how he puts, I said, what is this? He puts and I was like, what? He puts 23. And I go, okay, he wants to go and say something to that person. He says, I guess you're not proud of your dad, huh? And then he's like talking to him. And then he says, I'm still proud of you. And I know the son tries to be proud of him or tries to care about him a whole lot or that. I don't know what type of animosity there is where maybe he like turns away from him. Maybe he's very upset about this, obviously with passing, but there's some sort of feeling there too. But he wants to apologize to him more as well, that he's not going to be there with him for the rest of that time. He says that, is that oldest son, is he still drinking?
No, none of his kids drink.
Good. He said, because he goes like this, he says, tell them not to drink. That's why I was like, are they drinking? Yeah, don't drink. So please like learn from his mistakes. One. He wasn't married to the mother anymore?
Correct.
Oh, okay. He calls somebody, we don't have to repeat this, but he's talking about maybe he's dating somebody or something or whatever, and he's calling them, like, he says like, I wasn't married to the mother, I was dating somebody. I don't know, like he used the term hussy. I'm not saying it's a hussy though.
He dated a lot of hussies.
Did he date hussies? Okay. He said so and so hussy. I was like, oh my, I haven't heard that word. He says that you're just like, he was what? 5'9", 5'10", maybe. How tall was he?
He was 6'3", I think.
He was that tall.
6'3"
Wow.
or
Okay.
6'4". I think he was 6'4".
Okay. Oh, so he was, oh, well, no wonder he dated a lot of hussies, because the way that I see him, he's sitting down, and I don't see him that way, which is very interesting. Normally he'll like to stand up and be grand. It's probably just because he's sitting down in my head all the time. He says that, tell me about him. What about them? What goes on with their lives? Okay, so somebody asks and laughs, why did you move down there? And they showed me pineapple. Does somebody live around Florida? Are you going to move to Florida?
He came to Florida to live with my parents when he hit what we thought was rock bottom. And I'm in Florida right now with my parents.
Oh, you're in Florida with the parents. No wonder. Okay. Yeah, he goes like this. He said down, and then he shows me pineapple. Like I told him about the signs. And I go, if they put an X, it says don't move to Florida. He says that that's the thing. Tell me. Is dad not doing well?
He has prostate cancer, but he's doing okay.
He says, he goes, I said, so what about them? I said, mom's alive. What about dad? He goes, yeah, he's alive. He goes, but he's not doing well. And I go, okay, I'm getting into that. So let's ask about time. Let's ask about how this works. Let's see. What? Interesting. There's a phrase of he's saying that he won't let the prostate cancer take him out. So it's like we're holding strong, we're holding steady. He's talking about being saying like we're so ornery that we won't let this take us out, kind of like in a way.
That is exactly what he says.
That's exactly what he said. He goes, he says, what? He says he's going to be screaming all the way to the bank. So this means like at this point, I would even say we're on to like, and when I mean screaming, it's like when he's laying down in his hospital bed, getting ready to pass, he's still going to be saying he's not going anywhere. And then like God takes him. That's what I mean by that. And so he's talking about how, I think you have like a few years, but just have him like take his time, be nice, be kind to him. I mean, we all know that, but have him be kind to himself too. Okay. Tell me what are you doing, Brian? Why did you? He shouldn't have separated from his family. He used work as an excuse. He used everything else as an excuse. He shouldn't have done that. Then he had a lot of pride. Then he kept himself away. And then he just tried to continue like living this high life. And I think in a way it's like almost we're getting broke or something like that. We're getting to the edge of like nothingness. And I don't know why. It's almost like he's straddling that line. He's saying that I don't think necessarily he owed a lot of debts, but there's like a feeling of like how there's a pull or something. He says he's very, very smart though. One, he keeps going to back like his heyday, his good days. So your brother is around. He loves you. He's working through stuff. He moves up. He's going to move up. He's going to be perfectly fine. He's very embarrassed about what happened to him. He showed up before y'all got here. To be here. That sounds like him. Tell me about. You know, he must have really loved at first the mother of his kids. Like really loved her. Like he was like almost like a hopeless romantic when it came to that. Really loved her. I think she's in some sort of other relationship now or something because it feels like there's something else there. But he is, another thing is like apologizing to her because obviously it goes both ways. But it's almost like she is one of the love of his life too. So it's a thing. She says, tell me, what about her? He keeps telling me, Laura, do you have 2 kids, Laura? Okay, cool. He says, I'll buy them gifts. That's all he's saying. and I have no idea what that means. I was gonna leave that there. He goes, I said, what are you doing? What are you doing? He goes, oh, her 2 kids. He says, don't worry, like I'll still take care of them. And I go, why? And he says, I'll send them gifts. And I was like, okay, I'll tell her that. And it's like, they're both adults though. Is like one supposed to be out of the house though, or something? And is like one back here?
No, they're younger. They're 9 and 12.
Oh, they are? No wonder he's buying them gifts. Oh, okay. This is what he says. He shows me this image. He says, in the house, and he shows one should be out or one going out. And so I'm like, maybe one's old enough to be. So no wonder he's trying to still spoil them because they're babies. He says that, tell me. Can we please, like, in everybody's home, he's sitting on a couch now. He's switched and has his little foot like that. He's like this. And he's talking about people showing him respect. And he's talking about like, please put my picture up. Please put it on the wall. Like, please do this. Like, we need to have something. It's like, obviously, I think maybe we have something a little bit here, but we want it to be like an honor, right? He says, one, they couldn't do what? What happened with you? Hold on. Oh, was there a big thing of whether we were going to cremate him or bury him? And did we end up cremating him?
We cremated him.
Yeah. Okay. He goes like this. He says, he's talking about family, quote unquote, being traditional. I go, okay. But then he says how it should have been buried. I go, okay, so are you? He goes, no. He says, they put me in a box. And I go, okay, so that's cremation. And he says, like, it's not even fancy. Your brother has like a silver spoon and I really enjoy him. Like, up his butt though, in a funny way. He's like, it should have been fancier. So I don't know where we have him. What? Did y'all ever put him in the ocean? Some of him?
We want to. That's been our plan. He
please
wants to
do
be
that.
Okay.
Yeah, please do that. Not all of it. Save a little, because this is what he goes. I said, what are you doing? He says, well, I'm still here. I'm still on land. And I go, why? He says, they're supposed to put me out there. And I go, okay. He says, but save a little. That's a little sign for me. I go, okay. So get together, have a good time, make it a little bit more fun. Don't have a drink for him. Tell me. What? This man is what is December? I mean, obviously Christmas. What is December?
That's when he died.
Oh, he's a Christmas dad. Oh God. Okay. My dad did too, right in there. That's a terrible time. Okay. Yeah. He keeps showing me fire sign and I'm like, he's not a Leo. And so I'm like, okay, this has to go in December. My God. Tell me. He's happier right now. He's not nearly as sad. He just comes up and he wants to give everybody a hug. He just wants to be there. Where is there like a third sibling that goes? I mean, he's the third sibling. Is there another sibling that goes with y'all?
Just the 3 of us.
Just okay, so it is 3. He keeps going 3, 3, 3. But then I'm like, is he talking about y'all 3 or is he talking about a third one coming in? Yeah, because he comes up and he does this. It's almost like we have this group hug together. So no, he's fine. Do y'all for right now? What? Hold on. Give me one more thing. He just said, like Brian, the myth, the man, the legend. Idea. It's like
very Brian.
That's what he just said. Brian,
Yay,
the
jackass.
myth, the man, the legend. And I'm like, okay, I'll talk about that. And it's so funny because he put himself like if he had a graveside or a gravestone like in Graceland with Elvis, like it needs to be that amount. And how we haven't done that. He says that, see, now he's lightening up a little bit, which is good. He says, what happened to all of his button ups? And where are all those are what? You are the person that would wear those with shorts. You would wear boat shoes with shorts, wouldn't you? Yeah, you would.
Yep.
You would. Yeah, because that's what he's walking around and I'm just like, You have nice calves though. He's like just
Yeah.
trying to show me bits of him. He doesn't have chicken legs, which is nice. He says one. They'll talk about stuff like this, like what their body looked like. Hold on. Glasses. Okay, so who does like everybody have a pair of his glasses?
No, actually. He wore
Weird.
glasses.
He just yeah, weird. So this is what he said. He just showed me glasses and he showed me everybody. And so I'm like, what is that?
we all
Um,
wear glasses.
Oh, everybody does too. Okay, so everybody does too. I'm just gonna leave that with that. He says that. Tell me. Hold on. I'm waiting. Now he's trying to be sweet. He says that, oh, if you get to know me, you know I'm really fun. I'm like, I know you are. He's just dealing with a lot. He was dealing with a lot. You have to remember with how he died, he's coming right off of that, and now he's talking to us. Think of us as like that next moment, right? Like, so everything that has been felt for however many years this has been or whatever, like this is it, right? And so know that he's finding his way, know he's okay. Tell me one more thing. He's gonna be right beside your mother. He really, really loves your mom. Really, 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 really loves your mother. He gets down and he like sits next to her. Like that's the whole thing. He loves your mom. Okay, so he's around them and I want y'all to keep him safe too. Y'all are doing a good job. Okay, so for right now, do y'all have any questions for me at all before I run to my next session?
Is he mad at either of us?
No, he's mad at himself more than that. I mean, you have the whole, sibling getting I mean, I'm the youngest of 7 sisters, so I feel this. I understand what that is, right? But there's like the slight annoyance, but he sees it from a different light and he's more perturbed. He's talking about somebody bah, 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 bah. Like, so somebody really likes to talk. We're just gonna leave that there. But there's more love and there's more seeing that everything that y'all would do, you would do it because of love and because you care about them. Okay.
Can I ask one last
So-
thing?
Yeah, of course, honey.
Does he have anything to say to his middle child, to James?
Let's go. Hang on. James? Hold on. Must be very, very hard for James to cope. I think he does a lot of video games or escapism through all that stuff or electronics all the time or something, because he's talking about how he doesn't have time to go and talk to him. He can't really get in his head. And what that means is that he's always preoccupied with something else, like that.
Yeah.
He's
That's actually
he's saying-
that's Chandler, his oldest one.
Oh,
does
that's
that.
so that's
Yeah.
oldest. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's talking about trying to get in his head and he can't because we're always preoccupied with something like that. And I'm like, okay. He says that, tell me. I feel like in a way, James is gonna cut his way into the world. Like Chandler's gonna go one way, our other baby's gonna go another way, and James is really gonna almost be that avant-garde person like he was, just don't drink. That's kind of what this kid feels like. And so no, he's going to help him. It's almost like his father is helping him sail his ship into the wind to carve this new path. So let him know that he loves him and he's there with him too. Okay. So y'all, if you need me or if you have any questions, just email me. Okay. And
Thanks, Amy.
and you're welcome. I love y'all. And from over here in Southern California, I will send this to you tomorrow. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Love y'all.
Take good care. Bye.
Bye.